Welcome back to Krown's Crypto Cave. Wish you a happy and healthy start to the day, of which I could definitely use one myself once again today. It's a very dreary day in Helsinki, Finland. I'm feeling like absolute dog shit, so very unlikely we'll be doing a Twitch or, of course, a live stream later today. I just don't think that I have the stamina for it. Maybe another day or two of rest and should be able to come back. Problem is, this is like the worst day to be having that sort of an issue because this is really the time to be paying attention to Bitcoin at all and, well, just the general markets, as not only do we have, of course, the Coinbase direct listing that is going to be happening tomorrow on April the 14th, but also there is major earnings for a lot of banks and a lot of financials coming in this week for traditional markets as well, which is going to be a major catalyst for many things to come, as Mark does like to move off of those sorts of things. So what do you typically see leading to these sorts of events? You see a lot of sideways, and then as the event does unfold, then a direction is typically picked. So I'm actually going to bring back something in this video that I haven't done in a very long time, and I just like started up a Deribit testnet account so I can do a little bit of options trading there and show kind of what I would be doing in this sort of situation. As why the fuck not, man? As it's just testing the account, so it's not real money. I want to be very specific with that. Not fucking real, at the end of the day. So fair enough. Anyways, plenty to talk about today as far as the short-term timeframes go, but more or less, we haven't really seen too many new things on the higher-term timeframes. I do want to call back to about a week and a half ago, last week, where we did essentially say, look, based off the volume signature, based off price structure, based off volatility signature, what is this likely to do? It's likely to take its time with an actual resolution. It was lined up somewhere around the middle of this week, which is tomorrow, actually. So I do kind of stick with that. I don't want to be giving out fucking super clickbaity titles like emergency fucking update for Bitcoin. It's going sideways as hell. It's still in the range. We still haven't picked a direction. It's still consolidated at a very high level, which is probably going to be bullish. But at the end of the day, do I want to be marking off conditions for reversal or conditions for continuation? Yes, that's what it means to be a fucking trader. Obviously, you need to have a plan for what to do if what you're thinking actually happens, and then also what to do if what you're thinking is not going to happen. Essentially, risk management and management in a couple words there. Anyways, we don't really see anything new as far as the dashboard goes here. Open interest is the only thing that's actually added another almost 200 million in position, as we do certainly make a new all-time high once again in open interest, which should lead price action again within the context of a general uptrend, well, a macro uptrend, and pretty much all time from uptrend on Bitcoin right now. But like I've been saying, I do think that tomorrow is going to be a bit of a catalyst for this. Could we see a resolution today? It's certainly possible, yes. But what I do think is that a lot of the old timers, a lot of like the big money investors, they want to see how the Coinbase IPO kind of lists first, and then jump in or not from there, as it's there's a whole way to play something like that. I am not the person to go to for that, though. I would not suggest. I have very little experience actually like trading on the fucking open for an IPO. My whole thing is that I do not want any piece of that. I want to wait. But for those of you out there who are a little bit more cavalier, check out the liquidity zone over here. They'll very likely be talking about it, I imagine. They also have a new issue in their newsletter coming out today. In fact, price action in the rearview mirror, where they're going to be talking about a few reversals that they're looking at for some big names in the stock market. So again, check out their newsletter right here. Very, 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 very cool stuff. If you're interested in traditional markets, they're not going to be covering like cryptos or anything like that, just traditional markets. So there you go. Anyways, into the market data tab. Is there anything that we really want to call out right here? Not really. We did see a little bit of a down on the funny rate, but we still need to get rid of bullshit FTX over here because their data feed or their API is just not working well with our systems here. But everything else pretty much the same. I think that the line chart is rather well telling. It's pretty damn easy to pick out a trend on a line chart. If you ever want like a secret little tip to be able to identify a trend, put it on a line chart. Anyone can look at this and say, oh, that's an uptrend. Pretty damn simple. Anyways, okay, cool. So I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself right now. I do want to keep this video a bit more on the shorter side, of course, and we're just going to be going over Bitcoin, maybe a couple cryptocurrencies today, and of course traditional markets. So looking at Bitcoin right here, we're still in the same range as yesterday. I mean, if I go down to the lower term timeframes, we didn't even break the short term, or we didn't even break the short term range. In fact, we go over here. There we go. Lovely. Which we were able to move up to about 59.5. We can actually move it up once again on the extremely short-term timeframes. If you're looking at a 4-hour right here, here's your next higher low, right around 59.9. So that would be a little bit of a point of failure for a 2-hour or 4-hour closure below there. And I would be looking for the same sort of move that we spoke about yesterday, somewhere back down right around about $58,000. Now, again, would I be taking that move myself? Would I be taking that trade? Fuck no. I'm not interested in like a $1,500 trade, although I know that many people out there will be. when realistically, you're looking at the resolution of the last almost two to 3 months of price action within this range. Going all the way back here to our lows and at about 43,000 bucks in our highs. More recently at about 62,000 bucks. So realistically, I'm looking for the big trade right here. I do think that this is really the time to be cognizant of that, because we're seeing everything kind of line up with each other. Of course, we're seeing that volume signature is starting to come to a nice apex, which has been steadily declining. Jesus Christ, let's actually just go to Coinbase here. In fact, this one's a little bit easier to be working off of as it flows incredibly well. We do see an apex on the volume signature right here coming in actually middle of May, but because this has been going on for so long, since early January actually, we are at about the 75 to 70% full region right here, which does mean that it's statistically likely, or very, very likely, to be breaking at any moment now. So looking at that, plus momentum oscillators, plus historical volatility percentile, I do look at this as, a pretty damn good setup. XRP over here has obviously been downtrending ever since that same sort of early January date, and we are almost in the single digits now, definitely in the teens. And so when you're thinking about it from that perspective, like, look, when you are this low, it can break at any moment in time. I mean, we're at an 18 percentile, right? 18 percentile. That means that it really wouldn't take too much to actually get this baby moving. And that's what you expect to see lean into your consolidations. And whenever it comes to consolidation, I look at, I consider this two things. First and foremost, look, grinding up above or around your all-time highs, or around your all-time lows, or just around any support or resistance, it's usually going to break in that direction. Support and resistance gets weaker and weaker the more that it gets tested. And this intuitively because, well, what would be the psychological interpretation of that? Pretty fucking simple, actually. Look, if someone is obviously selling somewhere around 61 to 62,000 bucks, at some point they're just going to run out of fucking equity to sell right there. And you can see on the other side, buyers getting more and more aggressive. That is what it means to be in an uptrend. That is the underlying psychology behind why an ascending triangle in this case is more likely. I believe it's a little bit over 70%, about 72.5 or somewhere around there in Bitcoin land, to break in that same direction. Buyers get more aggressive, sellers start to lose luster, they start to run out of their equity, and they just start to realize, well, fuck this, I can probably just sell higher if I want to. Or people start to get trapped in positions, which is a whole nother dynamic as well. Anyways, I'm getting ahead of myself right now. So as far as the volume signature goes, as far as HVP goes, and as far as momentum oscillator goes, this does look like a pretty damn good setup. Probably to be resolved, I think this week. I even think today or tomorrow or Thursday is extreme likelihood, if there is any likelihood. And of course, when you have a setup like this where volatility is very low, it's one of the few times where I'll actually be comfortable being a premium buyer. And what I did over here is, again, this is a testnet account. This is not real money, not fucking real money. Okay. What I did over here is actually bought the 62 call strike and sold the 72,500. I basically put on a bit of a call spread right there. It's going to show absolutely terrible marks right here because you see these marks are fucking liquid as hell. But realistically, I mean, this is worth 0 right now, and it will be worth 0 with any sort of a closure below 72,500 on Friday at some ungodly early hour. So realistically, my marks are getting like absolutely wrecked here, but that's what you get for trading on fucking testnet derivative. There's not too many people around there. It's like it's marking me down 0.867. It's like, okay, is that real? Well, no, not really. It should actually be marking me up like 250. Or 0.250. Again, assuming that price action does close below 72,500. The reason why I bought the 62,000 call strike right here is because it's a little bit out of the money. A little bit of a, it's the only one that can also get filled on too. But I want to be buying just a slightly out of the money above what I would be considering the upside resolution of this formation, to give me a little bit of space there. And I'm comfortable buying a little bit of volatility in this situation as well. I also went on the other side too and tried to reduce my price. Sold a put spread, 54,000, 49,000 strikes. Tried to get filled on 10 of these right here. It didn't work, but fair enough. And then same thing over here. So I'm going to get absolutely wrecked on these marks for now. But come Friday, as long as Bitcoin doesn't close below 54,000 bucks, well, pretty damn simple to be managing. And more importantly, when we look at our lower term time frame ranges right here, it's pretty fucking simple. So combining multiple different avenues of attacking this issue, I would be looking at this higher low right here. That is my bias changer for Bitcoin. If Bitcoin goes into a downturn on the daily, I don't want to have a long exposure, and that's 56,000 bucks. So if I have risk on at the 54,000 strike for the put side of that, then, well, I'll just cover using spot below this region, short below that region, equal to my my open contracts on the put side, the short side that is, and probably look for a move somewhere back down around about $54,000, which is rather interesting because it's right there. Probably would be looking for a bounce there too, and then I have to manage that position, which is going to create a whole nother fucking diabolic situation. But at that point, probably just close them out, and around expiration, take a bit of a loss there, and that's all good. Anyways, as it stands right now, looking at this right here, I have no real reason to be no real reason to be bearish on any time frames as long as Bitcoin is in an uptrend and above even the lower term time frame resolution point, resolution area, which is going to be again moved up to about 59.8. Let's actually call it 59.8 because it's a little bit below there, to be fair. Just this last little higher low that Bitcoin put in on the last 4-hour dildo, in fact. Anyways, as it stands right now, I mean, this looks to me like it's kind of flagging out at a high level within a greater flag within an ascending triangle, and that is going to be accompanied by several other things on our lower term timeframes, of which we do have hidden bullish evidence on that last drive to the downside. We do have extremely low HVP over here, so probably looking at a move today. 4-hour TSI looking for across the upside, and will confirm across the upside with any sort of a close basically here or higher in the next 3 hours. So a lot can happen between now and then. Obviously going to the 3 hour over here, same thing, basically same sort of divergences, same sort of signal on the TSI, but already flashing there. What do we see on the bi-hourly? Same shit as you would expect. So it's good to see confluence between all of these, and we can go check out our Stokes on those timeframes as well, just to like see if there's any sort of rhyme or reason on this one. Actually, 4-hour Stokes are kind of twisting down around this one. As long as I hold within the bullish control zone, though, I don't have any major issue with it, but that would be a little bit of a counterpoint to what I'm saying. Here's what the 3, 2, and 1 hour are saying right now. 3 hours looking for across the upside, so I would say that puts a little bit of a hold on what I just said on the 4-hour. Of course, the 2-hour already leading that one in, so that's going to help out the boulos a little bit more, and then hourly already up there as well. So the 4 hours, the odd man out in this case, and to me that likely aligns with a little bit of floaty price action, a little bit more sideways. I know it's fucking boring as all hell, but at the end of the day, I probably would be looking for just a little bit more of that. Anyways, 4-hour DMI plus dominant, ADX strengthening, good more or less. 4-hour MACD also looking for cross the upside as well. Not going to be accompanied, or could be accompanied by breakage of structure. If you're looking at the 4-hour, breakage of structure would be above 68.50 on BitMexico. 12-hour, what do we see right here? 12-hour DMI plus dominant, ADX is strengthening to the heavens, and 12-hour Stokes technically still up, but a little bit tired right there. So this is starting to wear out its welcome around this region a little bit more, which does lead me to believe that we are going to see a resolution at the very least of the short-term time frame range relatively soon. The thing is, to the upside, the short-term time frame range is also synonymous with all time frames. In fact, leading up to your high and macro time frames. Anyways, going over here to a daily DMI plus, technically dominant, ADX is strengthening. I'd like to see it actually get a positive slope, but what did we see last night? We did see officially daily Stokes did cross the upside within the bullish control zone. To me, that's a very powerful signal as well. So if I had to call things right now, do I think that Bitcoin moves to the upside? Yes, I do. Would I still essentially be using the same targets that I've been having from before? Yeah, I would. Let's see, I have it on this chart over here. Still pointed up towards about just below $70,000 in line with the 3.618 extension, and an area of interest along the way, right around $63,000 about. So going back on over here, it's starting to leave me a little bit more right now, so I do need to make this a little bit tighter, but daily MACD obviously twisting back up, good. We saw that signal essentially, led into by the daily TSI over here, same shit. What do we see on daily RSI? Hidden bullish divergence. What do we see on the 12-hour? Hidden bullish divergence. What do we see on the 2-day? Hidden bullish divergence. What do we see on the 3-day? Hidden bullish divergence. We already know the fucking 5-day, and the weekly just had it confirmed a couple nights ago as well. So all this, traditionally speaking, is going to make me certainly err on the side of the upside. I mean, it's also the same side as your macro trend here. I do like what I see, more or less. I'm actually really surprised I'm doing this video right now without any coffee. This is pretty damn good. I'm very proud of myself right now, doing a little bit of mental override. I learned that one from Bodie Miller, and it's actually changed a lot of things in my life, in fact. Anyways, looking at this right here, or do we want to look at this right here? I mean, there's nothing really new to be talking about on a weekly, to be fair. Let's look at some caretaker ranges over here. Even the fucking caretaker ranges are squeezing like hell on price action right now on the 4-hour, giving me a neutral zone consolidation. I would not be looking at these as fucking targets to buy or sell right now. This is squeezing so hard that this is like a picture perfect. Do not fucking take those signals right now with HVP so low. You want to see that really expand before those start to produce some of the more juicy berries, if you will. Anyways, what else do we want to talk about right now? I don't know. In fact, I think that's maybe it. Let's go check out traditional marks really quick. Just curious how they are doing right now. Actually, let's see what caretaker ranges say on daily. Yeah, that looks a little bit more obvious. Oh, what do you know? $63,000. Nice. To the downside, you got your last local low right there. So fair enough. Anyways, or sorry, the one prior to that. Anyways, okay, let's go check out traditional markets, see how they're doing in the early morning hours. SPY futures, have we hit our 4150 target yet? Pretty fucking close. 4124.5. I still remain with my 4150 target. Might as well just pull this baby back. Jesus Christ, man, there's too many in my face right now. Get rid of this one right here. And we can pull this baby back right here. Yeah, I'm still looking at about 4150 as the next sort of short-term pullback region. Long-term, however, I don't think that thing stopped there. I do think that this one will gun above 4200 actually. Again, gonna bode well for Bitcoin, especially with financials having their earnings this week. It looks like it's kind of being priced in right now, or at least the interpretation of this is going to be likely good. Now, with earnings, they actually, I mean, you know, if things are going to be terrible in comparison to, of course, the what's it called, the fucking projection. Basically every time that earnings come out, there's going to be like some sort of a like a projection, like what is expected. That's what I'm looking for. And it's really the relationship between the real one that's actually printed and the expected one, and then also your forwards outlook. And right now, I mean, it looks like it's being priced in as a bit of a bullish thing. Obviously, next week is Tex as well, and they'll probably just run the market anyways because they typically do. Anyways, looking at this right here, I'm sure that we have bearish evidence all the way along the top thus far. You know, maybe a short-term pullback to like 4100-ish region. But overall, I am a little bit more hesitant to be calling this into like an actual earnings date, as I mean, it really wouldn't take too much for this one to come back down a little bit below 4100. But ultimately, long-term, weekly is still bullish. And yes, I still do remain a long-term bullish here. NASDAQ, same shit. I mean, literally same shit. We hit 13,800 target once again. We got our pullback yesterday all the way down to 13,700. I was actually saying 13,600, I believe. I think I was looking somewhere down around, about 13,650. We didn't even quite get down around there. But same thing to say on this one as what I just said on SPY. In fact, this one obviously more relevant, obviously being as, you know, banks and aka financials are included in NASDAQ as well. And looking at this right here, you know, does this one pull back first essentially to 13.6 or try another move to the upside? I don't have a strong opinion on that. Long term though, my opinion is on the upside. That's what I have a strong opinion on. And I still be looking at, you know, $15,000 with an area of interest along the way at 14,300. Let me just pull this back a little bit more so that it's an eyesore right here. In Dow Jones, I'd imagine it's the same. What do you fucking know? Same shit. Same shit once again. Actually, this one's right around the cheap spot 618, and we actually did get a little bit of a nice short-term pullback into this range right here, but flagging out at a high level. I mean, that's not necessarily the most bearish thing of all time. You know, I basically have the same thing to say on this one as I do the other two. Anyways, you want to check out, what about Ripple? Do this one for XRP Africa right now. Where is my damn Ripples? As that one's been pretty damn interesting as of recent times. 145. Damn, powerful, man. Fucking powerful. Yeah, this baby is looking for new highs on this run. Next area of interest is going to be right around 180-ish region. Probably would be looking for a short-term pullback somewhere around 180. But long-term, I don't really have any real reason to believe that this thing is not going to pop back up around its prior all-time high, 285 or 275, whatever the fuck it is right here. Yeah, it looks like 275. And probably goes for another run on top of that. I mean, everything else in this market has, so why not Ripple? Ripple likes to pump the hardest too when it actually gets its shot, but it's usually kind of deep in the rotational drives there. So, you know, usually goes one of the last. But in this case right here, you know, even on the daily, I'm not even looking at this as, I mean, the daily is just straight up bullish. You know, there's I don't really have too many counterpoints to that right now. Looking at daily RSI. Fine. You're looking at daily TSI. Yeah, it's getting up there. And yeah, this one is probably due for a greater pullback relatively soon. But there's one thing that I do know. Many good men have lost their fucking shirts trying to short this thing. And, well, I'm just looking at it right now. Yeah, 180 would be my next major area. Let's see, is there anything on the short-term timeframes that could maybe make me change my mind? Yeah, okay, here we go. Here's an easy management point right here. Just this last sort of low structure right around about 131, 132 region. As long as it's above there, it's bullish on all timeframes. Still be looking at 180 as crazy as it sounds, and maybe in more of a time. Now, if it does take out this level to the downside, I'd be looking for a greater drive somewhere down around about 115. 115 to about 115 to about 120. Anyways, I think that's going to be it for today. You want to kind of protect my voice a little bit more. So fair enough. I think that's going to be, yeah, that's going to be it. Let me see. Is there anything else that I want to call out right now? No, I don't think so. And I don't really want to do a full-on wrap-up just because my voice is a little bit under the weather. So with that said, I'm going to wish you well. Take care. And until next time.